In week 4, students will learn about key concepts including using the writing process, generating ideas to write, organizing ideas using an outline, creating an outline with details for effective writing. So let's first talk about what is good writing. Good writing requires thinking, revision, expresses ideas clearly, directed toward an audience. It definitely achieves a purpose, as well as good writing requires practice. So there are 3 basic building blocks of the written language. The first is the sentence, then the paragraph, and then of course the essay. So the 5 steps in the writing process, which I'm fairly confident most students have seen this before in their academic career, includes generating ideas, plan and organize your ideas, write a first draft, revise, and proofread. Now at least the first step, the ideas, the plan and organize your ideas, and then some of writing a first draft will be addressed in this PowerPoint today. So students last week were given the topic of Greek mythology with questions that spurred your ability to research this particular topic. You conducted the research so that you could be able to know something about your topic, because I cannot expect you to brainstorm ideas about a topic that you just know nothing about. So one way to be able to generate ideas for a topic is through brainstorming, in a way of developing ideas by making a list of everything you can think of about a topic. Brainstorming is like taking 3 to 5 minutes to be able to think about a topic, what you know about a topic, and listing ideas, keywords, and phrases, which include feelings, facts, examples, or problems, everything related to the topic. So if we were looking at Greek mythology, we would probably be able to pull keywords, ideas, and phrases from some of the information that you researched. Another way to be able to generate ideas for a topic is branching. Branching is being able to identify relationships between words and phrases. So let's look at the illustration in the slide. And as you can see, the example I've given here for a topic is college. So as I start brainstorming ideas, I think of academics, athletics, new experiences, dormitory, social life, and relationships. All of these keywords, ideas, phrases, all of this information, it's related to the topic of college. If I wanted to dive further into any one of these particular ideas, let's say I'd take a look at academics. Well, there are different ideas related to academics, which is related to the overall topic of college. For example, for academics, there's freshman level coursework, sophomore level coursework, junior and senior, studying, and instructors. Anybody that's taking any class has an instructor, has to study, and they have coursework. So we want to be able to generate ideas. Will we use all of these ideas? Probably not. So another part, after you've been able to generate ideas about a topic, you then need to be able to organize your ideas. Having all these ideas, thrown around like a hurricane will just not do you much good without being able to organize it. So don't be overwhelmed, but on the right side of this slide, you'll see that this is the sample outline that you will use as we go forward with this writing topic about Greek mythology. So once you generated the ideas, next you got to organize it, and you're going to use this outline to be able to organize your topic sentences, your paragraphs, as well as your essay development. Okay? So let's break down just a body paragraph. In the slide before, I had 3 paragraphs. It was not a full 5-paragraph essay. It was actually a 3-paragraph essay. Here we'll just call it a research report. So the middle of those paragraphs was actually a body paragraph. And so what's in a body paragraph? A body paragraph is usually about 5 to 7 sentences, and it expresses one main idea. And that body's paragraph, that one main idea, is expressed in a single sentence called a topic sentence. The other sentences are called supporting sentences or supporting details, which explain or support that one main idea for that whole paragraph. All right, so let's apply all this information to the research report that you have to do for this class on the topic of Greek mythology. So you've learned about generating ideas, so I want you to either brainstorm or branch ideas related to Greek mythology. My suggestion is to think about the whole report for Greek mythology and how your main idea would connect to the overall report. Because remember, we just need one, because you've only got one body paragraph. So let's look at the example that I did on the following page, okay? And I like the branching technique because I'm very abstract, and so I like those things. So as I'm generating ideas for my topic of Greek mythology, I came up with all of these keywords, phrases, and information, and I kind of put them on these branching pieces to see how it's related. So as you can see on the bottom, Greek mythology is my topic. So I had some questions in there, and I had, what is Greek mythology? I had Olympian gods, Titan gods, ancient Greeks, of course, Greek mythology is from the ancient Greeks, the culture of Greeks and gods, and then the history of Greek mythology. Now, some of these are more related to my topic or probably of more interest than others. But I only need one. Why? Because I only have one body paragraph in the outline that I presented to you a moment ago. All right, you're not writing 3 body paragraphs, you're just writing 1. So I only need to pick one idea. All right? So after I've generated my main ideas, select one. I'm going to choose Olympian gods. The reason being is as I was doing my research about Greek mythology, I was very interested in the information that was presented about Greek mythology for the Olympian gods, okay? So what I'll do is I'll take Olympian gods and I'll put it in my outline where it says main idea, because this whole body paragraph is going to be about Olympian gods related to my topic. So inside of the Blackboard lesson, you will have a sample outline. So you congratulate yourself thus far. Thus far, you have brainstormed ideas for the topic of Greek mythology. You should have placed your main idea in your sample outline, which is right in front of you and located on your Blackboard. And also what we're going to do here is we're going to elaborate and briefly fill in our introduction paragraph, because you're going to write your first draft introduction paragraph this week. So here's the outline for your introduction paragraph. Your first sentence, it needs to be a grabber sentence. You've got to hook your reader into your particular research report. If you can't hook them in, you're likely not going to be able to get their attention, and they're not going to read any further. So I didn't really emphasize too much. I just put an interesting fact or information that grabs the reader's attention. I'll find that when I start writing here in a minute. Background information. Your background information needs to be about the whole topic. Remember, it's not about my main idea. I haven't gotten there yet. I'm just wanting to give background information because I've done research on Greek mythology. You've done research on Greek mythology. But what about your reader? What if they don't know anything about Greek mythology? So here I put brief information about ancient Greeks, maybe some geography or history, any information which expands the topic of Greek mythology. Okay? And this is the most important step that comes next. The next piece is called a thesis statement. Now, you've already learned some information about a thesis statement, but I want you to know that the thesis statement is so important when writing any essay, any report. You have to point out, what's this whole essay about? If you don't do that, you will never give that information to your reader, and you have not successfully done and created and given that information for your reader. And it's got to be in your introduction paragraph. So what I'll do is I'll take the topic of my essay, which is Greek mythology. I'll take my main idea, which is Olympian gods, and I'll create a sentence. Okay? But I'm just creating an outline here. I don't want all that at the moment. I want the outline. I want you to recreate what I've done here for what you chose as your main idea. All right. So, again, just re-emphasizing. So far, we've researched the topic of Greek mythology. We've generated a main idea for a body paragraph. And we begin an outline that will guide our writing process. Okay? So as we've outlined our introduction paragraph, I want you to write a first draft of your introduction paragraph on the topic of Greek mythology. Remember, you need to use the structure below. Write a grabber sentence that hooks your reader. Put some background information about the whole topic, which is Greek mythology. And then a strong thesis. It needs to define and state what is the whole point of your whole essay. Remember, take your topic, your one main idea, and create a sentence that will tell the reader what your essay is about. Okay? So here's an introduction paragraph that I wrote. All right? So Greek mythology is known as stories and teachings from ancient Greeks to explain their physical world. All right? The stories of Greek mythology were different from other known civilizations' religions during this time period because such stories were not spiritual. Also, the stories of Greek mythology resembled humans in form and showed human feelings. And I cited this. Of all the stories known about Greek mythology, the Olympians were likely the most famous gods to survive these stories and are still widely known today. So I got my grabber sentence, background information, and my thesis statement. And it's all put together pretty well. May not be the most interesting topic on the planet, but it's put together structurally appropriate. So, what are you supposed to do? Generate ideas for your body paragraph. All right? Use the branching technique or the brainstorming. All right? Select one for your research report. You need to begin the outline in the Microsoft Word document that I placed into Blackboard for you. And I want you to be outlining just the introduction paragraph. All right? Put in your main idea where it belongs. Okay? And then I want you to outline what your introduction paragraph would start, what would it look like? You don't have to, write the whole thing in there. It's just an outline. Then I want you to write your first draft of your introduction paragraph. All right? Please remember, I understand this is your first draft. Many students, I call it their crap draft, but that's okay. A rough draft is a rough draft. You're meant to revise and edit your rough draft. However, I want to see good effort from you that you can structurally and logically pull these pieces together. This information here will tie into what we talk about next week for topics and so forth. So take care of this information. Please give me a call or email me if you have any questions or concerns.